I don't like Ohio State because I think Ohio State is going to lose in the opener against Texas, and they are going to struggle to make the playoffs, let alone win it all.
Flashback.
The bottom line is that he has to make a serious run, as Heather said. First round knockout, I'd fire him on the field before he gets to the midfield. I still think he probably ought to go. This guy has been a very good coach. He's 66-10, but when you lose to your rival every single year, 4 straight, so we're talking about 3 revenge games, and the same result happens, especially this year. It's time to start packing.
That was for the people who did not believe in Ohio State. Paul Finebaum, you are an idiot. Now Paul Finebaum is predicting Ohio State to underachieve. This is Sports Guy talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about how Paul Finebaum doubts Ohio State will make the college football playoff in 2025. Despite being proven wrong about Ohio State last season, Paul Finebaum will continue to play the role of being an Ohio State hater. At this point, it feels as if Paul Finebaum is being an Ohio State hater just to be a full-time troll at ESPN. Before I say anything else, though, I want to present you guys with the topic question. So, here it is. Will Paul Finebaum be proven wrong about Ohio State? Of course, Paul Finebaum is going to be proven wrong about Ohio State, just like he constantly gets his takes wrong on a consistent basis. Picking Ohio State to miss out on the college football playoff is absolutely wild. In fact, Ohio State should be the prohibitive favorite to win the national championship. Ohio State should be the favorite to go back-to-back in terms of being a national champion. I'm not saying Ohio State is going to end up being the 2025 national champions, but if somebody told me that would happen, I would absolutely say, I believe that take. That's a valid take to have. Ohio State is absolutely loaded on both sides of the ball. I know that they downgraded at the defensive coordinator position. I know Matt Patricia is the new defensive coordinator. I'm not too big of a fan with that hire, but Matt Patricia seems like he's getting along with his players and coaches just fine. So if Ohio State's defense is just passable, well, then the offense is going to be really good, because I like the offense Ohio State has. They might be the best offense in the nation. They got Julian Sayin. He is going to be an incredibly good quarterback. I know he hasn't had a lot of experience playing college football, but based on everything I've heard from Julian Sayin in the spring game and how he has been performing in spring practice alongside with being Will Howard's backup last season, it seems as if Julian Sayin will be a highly productive player. You also look at how Ohio State, they got productive running backs on the field as well. I like the addition of James Peoples. He's going to be a good player for Ohio State in the run game, and in the wide receiver room, they still got Jeremiah Smith, who is the best player in college football. They still got Carnell Tate, and they still got Brandon Inniss. So their wide receiver core, they stay relatively the same compared to last season. And their tight end room, they got this addition from Purdue. Max Klare is going to be another weapon Ohio State can use in the passing game. Ohio State's offense should be better than what it was last season. Their offensive coordinator left to be the OC for the Las Vegas Raiders, so they go ahead and hire Brian Hartline. Brian Hartline is an excellent wide receivers coach. It remains to be seen how he will perform as the OC for Ohio State, but I have a lot of complimentary thoughts towards Brian Hartline, mainly because he has coached every receiver to become the best version of themselves. If you are an elite wide receiver prospect at the high school level, you need to be thinking about going to Ohio State just to get trained by Brian Hartline, because the man knows how to develop wide receivers. I have a lot of respect for what Brian Hartline has done for the wide receiver room. Let's see if Brian Hartline becomes an excellent offensive coordinator, which I fully expect him to be. Paul Finebaum picking Ohio State to miss out on the college football playoff is entirely irresponsible. I can't see Ohio State losing more than 2 games, and that's worst case scenario. Even if Ohio State tried to miss the college football playoff, they still couldn't do it because their roster is absolutely stacked. Worst case, they're going 10-2, and then they're going to go on a huge run in the college football playoff. Their team is just simply too talented to flat out miss out on the college football playoff. If I was the head coach for Ohio State, I could probably take those guys to the playoffs. That's how stacked their roster is. I also want to show you guys this clip of Julian Sayin playing well in the spring game. I know some of those plays were incompletions, but for the most part, he showed really good tape in the spring game. I had a friend of mine who went to the spring game for Ohio State. He told me Julian Sayin looked like he was more than ready to go. I believe him based on what I saw in the spring game. Roll the film.
Will Howard, Logan George is one of those guys helping reload the defensive line.
That cut loose and snagged.
Great. Buckeye receiver room is as good as you'll find in college football.
Sayin steps up, and there is Tate with the reception, beating Donaldson.
No, I want to be part of this program, but haven't played a ton of snaps. You see a little seam route to your tight end.
Great overall player in this class and has made a push for playing time so far.
That's Sayin at his best, though. Tight spiral, beautiful quick release, accurate.
And another one to the tight end.
Greatest things that he learned as a quarterback in his entire career. Look what he did from that moment on.
Sayin into traffic, was moved.
Oh, boy! Yeah!
Well, those plays clearly show Julian Sayin is more than ready to go for the 2025 collegiate season. I expect Ohio State to win the Big Ten Conference. I really like the schedule Ohio State has as well. Their schedule is favorable for the most part. They should be able to win at least 9 games with no sweat. I know that it's college football. Anything can happen on a Saturday, but man, that roster is absolutely stacked. They got a lot of talent, and quite frankly, they're just better than everybody else. The only games where they're going to sweat for the most part are Texas, Michigan, and Penn State. Outside of those 3 games, Ohio State should be able to relatively blow out everybody else with ease. I know they play Texas during the first week of the season. I got that marked as a win for Ohio State. I believe in Julian Sayin. I believe in the defense. Matt Patricia is going to confuse Arch Manning into making some mistakes. I truly believe that Ohio State, they're going to come out of that game with a victory. And then, of course, you look at their rivalry game against Penn State. James Franklin doesn't win big games for Penn State, so I got that marked as a win for Ohio State as well. So Paul Finebaum is already wrong. You got to remember that you can get into the college football playoff with 1 loss. You can even get into the college football playoff with 2 losses. That's just the reality of the situation with the new format in the college football playoff. We are no longer living in an era where if you lose 1 game, you may be out of the college football playoff. With the 12-team format, even if you lose a game or 2, you're going to be in the college football playoff no matter what. And especially with a brand as big as Ohio State, they're not going to miss out on the college football playoff. I know they also got Michigan in there as well. That's going to be a tough game. I got Ohio State finally beating Michigan, something that they haven't done since 2019. Their roster is absolutely stacked. I believe in Julian Sayin. I believe in the running game for Ohio State. I believe in the wide receivers for Ohio State. Their offensive line is going to be really good. Brian Hartline is going to do a thing or two in terms of cooking up magic. So I expect Ohio State's offense to be filled with fireworks. I know defensively they're going to be worse than last season, but as long as they're passable, there should be no reason for Ohio State to flat out miss the college football playoff. Paul Finebaum is being an Ohio State hater. Of course, he is saying that because he wants to make sure he can get as many SEC teams into the college football playoff as much as possible. It's not going to happen though. Ohio State, they're going to steamroll through the competition in the regular season. They're going to win the Big Ten Conference. I'm taking them to beat Michigan. I'm taking them to beat Penn State. I'm taking them to beat Oregon. I'm taking them to beat any other Big Ten contender for the Big Ten championship, which means they're not going to miss out on the college football playoff. Paul Finebaum is an idiot, and he's going to be proven wrong once again, just like he was proven wrong about Ohio State last season. So that is why Paul Finebaum will be proven wrong about Ohio State, as Ohio State will finish the season with an undefeated record in the regular season. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking, like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That will be for the @Destined Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @Destined, and that's Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @Destined. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, Check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.